boys and girls, it's Miss Reynolds with Board, Better Off Reading Every Day. Today we have a great one for you. A very, very, very good story turned the other direction, in a direction that you've never seen it before. And I couldn't wait to share this with you. The name of this book is The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by A. Wolfe, as told by John Sicanza, illustrated by Lane Smith. The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. And you thought you knew. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do. But it lets you in on a little secret. I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolfe. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But, like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house out of straw? So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed and I snuffed. And I sneezed a great sneeze. And you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down, and right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar, so I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house out of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, "Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in?" He yelled back, "Go away, Wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs of my chinny chin chin." I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a good sneeze. Achoo! Achoo! And you're not going to believe it. This guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was a second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. Now you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better, and I still didn't have the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house out of bricks. I knocked on the brick house, no answer. I called, "Mr. Pig, are you in?" And do you know what the rude little porker answered? "Get out of here, Wolf. Don't bother me again." Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't give me even one little cup for my dear sweet old granny's birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed and I puffed and I sneezed once again. Achoo! 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 Then the third little pig yelled, "And your old granny can sit on a pin." Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course I was trying to break down the pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. The rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the two pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all of that huff and puff and blow your house down, and they made me the big bad wolf. That's it, the real story. I was framed. But maybe you can loan me a cup of sugar? end, boys and girls, of the story, the true story of the Three Little Pig by A. Wolf, as told by John Sinkazka, illustrated by Lane Smith. And this is a scholastic book. I'll read the back for you. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do, but I'll let you in on a little secret. The real story is, I was framed. A. Wolf. It is Miss Reynolds with B.O.R.E.D, Better Off Reading Every Day. I do not own the rights to this story or any of the stories that I read to you, but I do love storytelling magic. And the magic of this story is, I've always been told, there are three sides to every story. There is the pig side, the wolf side, and the true story. So which one do you believe? Boys and girls, you've heard the other one a lot. This one to me was kind of new. I actually asked a friend of mine, what is your favorite story growing up? And he told me that this was the story that was his favorite, and it was because he felt like the wolf got a bad rap, just like it says in the book. He felt that he was blamed for something he truly did not know. And that's what it says on the first page. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. Beautiful. I really enjoyed this book, and I'm really starting to think that a lot of the stories that we've heard might have another story to it. And there should be more of these books because it was a good one, boys and girls. So, thank you to my friend who was so kind to share this story with me a while back that I finally was able to bring to you, boys and girls, because you know, if it has to do with reading and it has to do with a good story, I'm going to take it and I'm going to make magic of it, because that's what I do. I turn stories into magic because I'm Miss Reynolds with B.O.R.E.D with Miss Reynolds on YouTube and Instagram. And it's been my pleasure to bring this story to you. But no story would be complete without our board twirl. That's right. Let's get into it. Oh, the wolf, A. Wolf, as he likes to call himself, and the board twirl. Boys and girls, why do we twirl? Because there's always a reason to be happy. And there's always a reason to just want to show everybody how happy you are, including your own self. I feel like as you're twirling, the happy is just spreading around. And that's why we twirl. You ready for another one? Legs together. Book out. Bye.